Brazil's Supreme Electoral Court, TSE, has voted to bar former President Jair Bolsonaro from running for office for 8 years. The decision was made on Friday, June the 13th, after a panel of judges found Bolsonaro guilty of abusing his power and casting unfounded doubts on the country's electronic voting system. The TSE's ruling is a major blow to Bolsonaro, who had been widely expected to run for re-election. Now, in the ruling, the TSE's judges found that Bolsonaro's false claims about the voting system had undermined Brazilian democracy and had created a risk of violence. The judges also found that Bolsonaro had abused his powers by using his position as president to promote his false claims. Now, Bolsonaro's lawyers have said that they will appeal the TSE's ruling. However, it is unlikely that the appeal will be successful. The TSE's ruling is based on Brazilian constitution, which prohibits the use of public office to promote false information. Now, the TSE's ruling is a significant victory for Brazilian democracy if you look on the Lula side. It sends a message that false claims about the voting system will not be tolerated. The ruling also helps to ensure that Bolsonaro will not be able to use his position as a former president to continue to run for elections. Now, the TSE's ruling is likely to have a significant impact on Brazilian politics. It could lead to a decline in Bolsonaro's popularity and could make it more difficult for him to build a political base for a future presidential run. The ruling could also embolden Bolsonaro's opponents, who have been critical of his false claims about the voting system. The TSE's ruling is a reminder that democracy is fragile and that it must be protected from those who could seek to undermine it. So, what does this all mean for Brazil's future? Well, the TSE's ruling is a major setback for Bolsonaro, but it is not completely clear what it will mean for the Brazilian future. Bolsonaro remains a popular figure among his supporters, and he could still play a role in Brazilian politics. However, the ruling will make it more difficult for him now to run for office in the future, and it could also weaken his influence over his supporters. Now, the ruling is also a reminder of the challenges facing Brazilian democracy. The country has a long history of political instability, and Bolsonaro's rise to power was a sign of the deep divisions in Brazilian society. The ruling is a victory for Lula, but it is not a guarantee that Brazil will remain a democracy in the future. The future of Brazil's democracy will depend on the ability of its people to overcome deep divisions that exist in the country, and the ruling is a step in the right direction, some think, but it is only one step. Brazil's people must continue to work to protect their democracy and to build a more just and equitable society, both in politics and elsewhere. Don't forget to follow us for more.